Have you ever wondered why some people after 60 start feeling more sluggish, less connected, and even less interested in intimacy, despite living a seemingly healthy life? You know what I'm talking about, that gradual decline that seems to creep up on us, leaving us wondering where our energy went and why we don't feel as vibrant as we used to. Here's something that might surprise you. Sometimes the very foods we think are helping us stay healthy might actually be working against us. I know, it sounds counterintuitive, doesn't it? We've been told our whole lives to eat more fruits, and suddenly I'm suggesting some of them might be holding us back. As we age, maintaining energy, circulation, and emotional closeness becomes even more vital, not just for our physical well-being, but for the joy of daily life. Think about it. What's the point of adding years to our life if we can't truly enjoy them? What if I told you that some of the fruits you thought were helping your heart and keeping you healthy were actually silently sabotaging your blood flow and affecting your most intimate moments? In this video, we'll uncover 4 common fruits that might actually be hurting your blood flow and intimacy after 60. And here's the kicker. The third one is especially surprising, and I guarantee it's sitting in most kitchens right now. You probably had some yesterday without even thinking twice about it. Have you ever felt more tired or disconnected after eating what you thought was a healthy snack? Maybe you've noticed that despite eating well, you're still experiencing fatigue, or perhaps your partner has mentioned feeling less energetic lately. Type "I'm here" in the comments if you're ready to protect your health and feel better after 60, because here's the truth. Knowledge is the first step toward feeling vibrant again. And don't forget to subscribe to Elder Wisdom for weekly tips that help you and your loved ones age gracefully and powerfully. We're building a community of people who refuse to let age define their limits, and I'd love to have you join us on this journey. Fruit number 1, grapefruit. Let me tell you about Robert, a retired teacher I met a few months ago. Picture this, a 68-year-old man who starts every morning with half a grapefruit, thinking he's doing something right for his heart. His doctor had mentioned eating more citrus, so Robert dutifully ate his grapefruit every single day for months. He felt proud of himself. Here he was, taking charge of his health, making smart choices. But then something strange started happening. Robert began complaining of muscle weakness, and his blood pressure medication didn't seem to be working as well. He felt dizzy sometimes, especially when standing up. His wife noticed he seemed more tired in the evenings, less interested in their usual walks together, and their intimate life started suffering. Robert couldn't understand it. He was eating healthy, taking his medications religiously, so why was he feeling worse? Here's what Robert didn't know, and what many people over 60 don't realize. Grapefruit interferes with many common medications for blood pressure, cholesterol, and even anxiety. It's not that grapefruit is inherently bad, it's actually packed with vitamin C and fiber. But here's the problem. Grapefruit blocks certain enzymes in your liver that are responsible for breaking down medications. When these enzymes can't do their job, medications build up in your system to dangerous levels. Think of it like this. Imagine your liver is a busy highway, and medications are cars trying to get through. Grapefruit essentially puts up roadblocks on that highway, causing a massive traffic jam. The result? Your blood pressure medication becomes too strong. Your cholesterol medication reaches toxic levels, and your entire cardiovascular system gets thrown out of balance. This leads to weakened blood circulation, energy dips, and yes, it can seriously affect your intimate life. Most people assume grapefruit is a perfect heart-healthy fruit. I mean, it's tart, it's natural, it's low in calories. What could go wrong, right? But for seniors on daily medications, it can quietly sabotage the very treatments designed to keep them healthy and active. So here's my advice. Always, and I mean always, Ask your doctor before eating grapefruit if you're on daily prescriptions. Don't assume it's fine just because it's natural. Consider switching to berries or apples instead. They give you similar nutritional benefits without the dangerous drug interactions. Your circulation will thank you, and you might just find yourself feeling more energetic and connected again. But grapefruit isn't the only unexpected fruit on our list. The next one seems so innocent, we often give it to grandchildren as a healthy treat. But it hides a lot of sugar in disguise, and that sugar can wreak havoc on your blood vessels. Fruit number 2, dried fruits, especially dates and raisins. Let me share Margaret's story with you. Margaret was a widow in her early 70s who lived alone and was always looking for convenient, healthy snacks. Her daughter had read somewhere that raisins were good for fiber and heart health. So Margaret started keeping little boxes of raisins around the house. She'd have some with her morning oatmeal, a handful while watching her afternoon shows, and sometimes even a few before bed when she got those late-night cravings. Margaret thought she was being so smart, and after all, raisins are just grapes, right? Natural, wholesome, much better than reaching for cookies or candy. But months later, she started noticing some troubling changes. She was gaining weight despite eating what she thought was a healthy diet. She felt more fatigued, especially after her snacks. Her blood sugar readings were creeping up, and she started experiencing that afternoon energy crash that left her feeling sluggish and disconnected from life. Here's what Margaret didn't understand about dried fruits. When you remove the water from fresh fruit, you're left with concentrated sugar, lots and lots of it. Think about it this way. It takes about 4 cups of fresh grapes to make just 1 cup of raisins. All that natural sugar gets packed into a tiny space, creating what's essentially nature's candy. For seniors, this concentrated sugar creates a perfect storm. When you eat dried fruits, your blood sugar spikes rapidly. Your body responds by releasing insulin to bring that sugar down. But in older adults, this process isn't as efficient as it used to be. The result? Those sugar spikes damage your blood vessels over time, leading to poor circulation throughout your body, including to the areas that affect intimacy and sexual health. But here's what makes this even more problematic. Dried fruits are so small and seemingly innocent that we tend to eat way more than we realize. A handful of dates contains as much sugar as a candy bar, but because they're natural, we don't think twice about having several throughout the day. Many families think dried fruits are a healthy snack alternative, especially for their aging parents. But for seniors, they act more like candy than fruit. The concentrated sugars can lead to inflammation in blood vessels, making it harder for blood to flow freely throughout the body. And when blood flow is compromised, everything suffers. Your energy, your mental clarity, and yes, your intimate life. Here's my advice. Stick to small portions if you really love dried fruits. We're talking about 3 or 4 pieces, not handfuls. Or better yet, opt for whole fresh fruit with natural water content, like oranges, watermelon, or berries. These give you the sweetness and nutrients you crave without the concentrated sugar bomb that can damage your circulation. Now, let's talk about the third fruit on our list. And this one is going to shock you. It's extremely popular in health circles, often promoted as a superfood, but it can cause serious hormonal imbalances if you overdo it. Fruit number 3, soy-based foods. I want to tell you about Frank and Linda, a retired couple in their late 60s who decided to embrace a healthier lifestyle together. They'd read about the benefits of plant-based eating and started incorporating more soy into their diet. They switched to soy milk in their coffee, snacked on edamame while watching TV, and Linda even started making tofu stir-fries several times a week. They felt so proud of themselves. Here they were, taking control of their health, eating foods that were supposed to be good for their hearts, and overall well-being. But after about 6 months of this new routine, Frank started noticing some concerning changes. He felt less energetic, less motivated, and this was the hardest part to talk about. He noticed a significant dip in his interest in intimacy with Linda. At first, he thought it was just stress or maybe just part of getting older, but the changes seemed too dramatic and too sudden to ignore. Here's what Frank and Linda didn't know. Soy contains compounds called phytoestrogens, essentially plant-based estrogens that can mimic the female hormone estrogen in your body. Now, in small amounts, these compounds can actually be beneficial. They might help with cholesterol and provide some antioxidant benefits. But here's the catch. When you consume soy regularly and in larger quantities, these phytoestrogens can start affecting your hormonal balance, especially in men. For men over 60, testosterone levels are already naturally declining. It's a normal part of aging, but it's also one of the key factors that affects energy, muscle mass, mood, and sexual desire. When you add a steady stream of estrogen-like compounds from soy products, you can further suppress testosterone production, creating a hormonal imbalance that affects everything from your energy levels to your intimate relationships. Think of it like this. Imagine your hormones are like a carefully balanced orchestra. Each hormone plays its part to create beautiful music. In this case, the music of feeling vibrant, energetic, and connected to your partner. When you introduce too many phytoestrogens, it's like adding too many violins to the orchestra. The music becomes unbalanced and the whole performance suffers. Many people believe soy is always heart healthy because they've heard about studies showing benefits in certain populations. But here's what those studies often don't tell you. After 60, hormonal balance becomes incredibly delicate. What might be beneficial for a 30-year-old could be problematic for someone whose hormone levels are already shifting due to age. For women going through menopause, the effects can be different but equally concerning. While some women find that phytoestrogens help with hot flashes, others discover that too much soy can actually make hormonal fluctuations worse, affecting mood, energy, and sexual desire. Here's my advice. Limit your soy intake and be mindful of how much you're consuming. If you're having soy milk in your coffee, tofu for lunch, and edamame as a snack, you might be overdoing it. Balance any soy consumption with testosterone-supportive foods like leafy greens, lean proteins, and healthy fats. Pay attention to how your body responds, and don't be afraid to cut back if you notice changes in your energy or intimate life. Now, the last fruit on our list is going to absolutely shock you. It's praised in health magazines, recommended by nutritionists, and probably sitting on your kitchen counter right now. But it could be quietly constricting your arteries and sabotaging your energy. Fruit number 4, bananas in excess. Meet George, a 65-year-old retired mechanic who decided to get serious about his health after a scare with high blood pressure. His doctor told him to eat more potassium-rich foods, so George did what many of us would do. He looked up which foods were highest in potassium and discovered that bananas topped the list. Being a practical man, George figured if one banana was good, 2 or 3 would be even better. So George switched from his usual toast and eggs breakfast to a routine of 2 bananas and a cup of coffee. He'd have another banana as an afternoon snack and sometimes even one before bed, because he'd read they could help with sleep. George felt proud of himself. He was eating healthy, natural foods, getting plenty of potassium for his heart, and avoiding processed junk. But within a few weeks, something strange started happening. George began feeling bloated and uncomfortable after meals. He started experiencing dizzy spells, especially when he stood up quickly. His energy levels plummeted, and he found himself feeling tired and sluggish throughout the day. Most concerning of all, he started losing interest in activities he used to enjoy with his wife, including their intimate life together. Here's what George didn't realize. While bananas are indeed high in potassium, which is generally good for heart health, too much potassium can actually lower blood pressure too far, especially in older adults who might already be on blood pressure medications or whose cardiovascular systems are more sensitive to changes. Think of blood pressure like water pressure in your home's plumbing. You need enough pressure to get water to flow properly to all the fixtures, but too much pressure can damage the pipes. Similarly, your body needs adequate blood pressure to ensure good circulation to all your organs and tissues, including those involved in sexual function. When your blood pressure drops too low, blood doesn't flow efficiently throughout your body. This leads to several problems that directly affect quality of life after 60. First, you get dizziness and lightheadedness because blood isn't flowing adequately to your brain. Second, you experience fatigue because your muscles and organs aren't getting the oxygen-rich blood they need to function properly. And third, and this is often the most distressing part, your intimate life suffers because adequate blood flow is essential for sexual function in both men and women. Bananas are seen as the ultimate healthy snack. They're convenient, sweet, natural, and packed with nutrients. But here's the thing, 2 to 3 bananas per day for someone over 60 can absolutely backfire, especially if you're already on medications that affect your blood pressure or if your body is becoming more sensitive to potassium as you age. The irony is heartbreaking. George was trying so hard to be healthy that he actually made himself feel worse. He was eating what he thought were healing foods, but he was unknowingly creating an imbalance that affected his energy, his mood, and his relationship with his wife. Here's what I recommend. Stick to half or 1 banana per day, maximum. If you're craving the sweetness and convenience of bananas, rotate with other fruits like kiwi, berries, or apples. These give you variety and nutrients without overloading your system with potassium. And if you're on blood pressure medication, definitely talk to your doctor about how much potassium is right for your specific situation. Now that we've seen the full list, let's talk about what all of this really means emotionally, for you or someone you love. Because this isn't just about fruits and nutrition. This is about reclaiming your vitality and your connections at a time in life when they matter most. I know this information might be overwhelming. It's not easy realizing that healthy habits we've embraced, habits we've been proud of, might be quietly hurting the ones we love or even ourselves. You might be sitting there thinking about your morning grapefruit ritual or the handful of raisins you grab when you need an energy boost, or the soy milk you switched to because you thought it was better for your heart. Maybe you're thinking about your partner, wondering if some of the changes you've noticed, the fatigue, the decreased interest in activities you used to enjoy together, the feeling of being less connected might be related to these seemingly innocent dietary choices. It can feel frustrating, even a little scary, to realize that we might have been unknowingly working against our own well-being. But here's what I want you to understand. This isn't about blame, and it's certainly not about fear. Knowledge is power, and the fact that you're here listening to this information means you're taking control of your health in a way that many people never do. These small changes we're talking about aren't about restriction or deprivation. They're about freedom. Freedom to feel vibrant, energized, and deeply connected again, even after 60. Think about what that could mean for your life. Imagine waking up in the morning feeling genuinely energetic instead of dragging yourself out of bed. Picture having the stamina to enjoy activities with your grandchildren, to take those walks with your partner, to feel present and engaged in your relationships. Imagine feeling confident and comfortable in your own body again. knowing that your circulation is strong and your energy is steady throughout the day. This is absolutely possible. Your body has an incredible capacity to heal and rebalance when you give it what it needs, and stop giving it what's working against you. The changes we're talking about today are simple, practical, and completely doable. You don't need to overhaul your entire life or give up everything you enjoy. Take a few minutes today to look through your kitchen, or if you're caring for an aging parent or partner, help them review their daily snacks and routines. A small swap, choosing berries instead of dried fruit, switching from grapefruit to oranges, moderating banana intake can bring surprisingly powerful results. I want you to feel hopeful about this. Health after 60 isn't about perfection, and it's certainly not about following countless restrictive rules. It's about making small, smart adjustments that honor where your body is now and support where you want it to be. You're not too late to feel great again. You're not too old to experience vibrant energy and deep connection. The best years of your life don't have to be behind you. Let me recap the key points we've covered today, because I want you to walk away from this video with clear, actionable information that you can use immediately. The 4 fruits you should limit or avoid after 60 are: first, grapefruit, especially if you're on any medications. The interactions can be dangerous and can seriously affect your circulation and energy. Second, dried fruits like raisins and dates. They are concentrated sugar bombs that can damage your blood vessels and leave you feeling exhausted. Third, excessive soy products. The phytoestrogens can disrupt hormonal balance and affect both energy and intimacy. And fourth, too many bananas. The excess potassium can lower your blood pressure too much, leading to dizziness, poor circulation, and fatigue. Each of these affects blood flow, energy levels, and yes, your intimate life and connection with your partner. But remember, this isn't about never eating these foods again. It's about being mindful, making informed choices, and listening to your body's responses. Now, I want to hear from you. Have you or someone you know experienced changes in energy, mood, or closeness that might be connected to food choices? Maybe you've noticed that certain foods make you feel more tired or less interested in activities you used to enjoy. Comment below and let's start a real conversation about this. Your story could be exactly what someone else needs to hear to make a positive change in their own life. And here's something I've learned from our elder wisdom community. We're all in this together. The challenges of aging, of maintaining our health and vitality, of staying connected to the people we love. These are universal experiences. When you share your story, when you ask questions, when you offer support to others in the comments, you're not just helping yourself. You're contributing to a community of people who refuse to let age define their limits. If this video has given you clarity, hope, or even just a moment of, aha, that makes sense, please consider subscribing to Elder Wisdom. We're here to empower you with knowledge for healthier, happier aging. We tackle the topics that really matter, not just the surface-level health tips you can find anywhere, but the deeper insights that can truly transform how you feel and how you live. Hit that notification bell too, because we're constantly researching and sharing information that can make a real difference in your life or the life of someone you care about. Next week, we're diving into the surprising connection between sleep position and circulation after 60. And trust me, the third position we'll discuss will shock you. Thanks for being part of this caring community. Thanks for taking the time to invest in your health and well-being. Thanks for caring enough about yourself and your loved ones to seek out information that can make a real difference. Stay informed, stay hopeful, and remember, small choices create big results. The banana you choose not to eat today, the grapefruit you swap for berries tomorrow, the mindful attention you pay to how foods make you feel. These aren't just dietary changes, they're investments in your energy, your relationships, and your joy. I'll see you in the next video, and until then, take care of yourself. You deserve to feel vibrant, connected, and fully alive at every stage of life.